Hello, friends. Very lovely and beautiful greetings of this soothing evening to all of you. May the positive vibes of this lovely evening help you to enlighten and glorify every aspect of your lives with positivity. Dear friends, today I would like to pay some tribute to Swami Vivekananda, the man of conviction who was actually a magical human being, the great spiritual master, the great saint who is remembered till date by every person on the globe. So here I would like to go through the biography of this great saint Swami Vivekananda, followed with his basic teachings and his parliamentary address in the Parliament of America. Swami Vivekananda's inspiring personality was well known both in India and in America during the last decade of the 19th century and the first decade of the 20th. The unknown monk of India suddenly leaped into the fame of the Parliament of Religions held in Chicago in 1893, at which he represented Hinduism. His vast knowledge of Eastern and Western culture, as well as his deep spiritual insight, fervid eloquence, brilliant conversation, broad human sympathy, colorful personality, and handsome figure made an irresistible appeal to the many types of Americans who came in contact with him. People who saw or heard Vivekananda even once still cherish his memory after a lapse of more than half a century. In America, Vivekananda's mission was the interpolation of India's spiritual culture, especially in its Vedantic setting. He also tried to enrich the religious consciousness of the Americans through the rational and humanistic teachings of the Vedanta philosophy. In America, he became India's spiritual ambassador and pleaded eloquently for better understanding between India and the New World in order to create a healthy synthesis of East and West, of religion and science. In his own motherland, India, Vivekananda is regarded as the patriot saint of modern India and an inspirer of a dormant national consciousness. To the Hindus, he preached the ideal of a strength-giving and man-making religion. Service to man as the visible manifestation of the Godhead was the special form of worship he advocated for the Indians, devoted as they were to the rituals and myths of their ancient faith. Many political leaders of India have publicly acknowledged their indebtedness to Swami Vivekananda. The Swami's mission was both national and international. A lover of mankind, he strove to promote peace and human brotherhood on the spiritual foundation of the Vedantic oneness of existence. A mystic of the highest order, Vivekananda had a direct and intuitive experience of reality. He derived his ideas from that unfailing source of wisdom and often presented them in the soul-stirring language of poetry. The natural tendency of Vivekananda's mind, like that of his master, Ramakrishna, was to soar above the world and forget itself in the contemplation of the Absolute. But another part of his personality bled at the sight of human suffering in East and West alike. It might appear that his mind seldom found a point of rest in its oscillation between the contemplation of God and service to man. Be that as it may, he chose in obedience to a higher call, service to man as his mission on earth. And this choice has basically endeared him to people in the West, Americans in particular. In the course of a short life of 39 years, that is from 1863 to 1902, of which only 10 were devoted to public activities, and those too in the midst of acute physical suffering, he left for posterity his four classics, that is Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, and Raja Yoga, all of which are outstanding treatises on Hindu philosophy. In addition, he delivered innumerable lectures, wrote inspired letters in his own hand to his many friends and disciples, composed numerous poems, and acted as a spiritual guide to the many seekers who came to him for instruction. He also organized the Ramakrishna Order of Monks, which is the most outstanding religious organization of modern India. It is devoted to the propagation of the Hindu spiritual culture, not only in Swami's native land, but also in America and in other parts of the world. Swami Vivekananda once spoke himself as a condensed India. His life and teachings are of inestimable value to the West for an understanding of the mind of Asia. William Jones, the Harvard philosopher, called the Swami the paragon of Vedantists. Max Muller and Paul Deussen, the famous Orientalists of the 19th century, held him in genuine respect and affection. His words, writes Romain Rolland, are great music, phrases in the style of Beethoven, stirring rhythms, and the march of Handel choruses. I cannot touch these sayings of his, scattered as they are through the pages of books at 30 years distance, without receiving a thrill through my body like an electric shock. And what shocks, what transports must have been produced when in burning words they issued from the lips of the hero. Truly amazing, truly amazing. What a great biography. What a great biography of the spiritual saint Swami Vivekananda. And now I would like to go through some of his famous quotes, which are the great teachings to the society. First quote is, "See God in all." This is actually the gist of all worship, to be pure and to do good to others. He who sees seva in the poor, in the weak, and in the diseased really worships seva. And if he sees seva only in the image, his worship is but preliminary. He who has served and helped one poor man, seeing seva in him, without thinking of his caste, creed, or race, or anything, with him, seva is more pleased than with the man who sees him only in the temples. Lovely. Next quote is, "God is within you." It is impossible to find God outside of ourselves. Our own souls contribute all of the divinity that is outside of us. We are the greatest temple. The objectification is only a faint limitation of what we see within ourselves. Next quote is, "Persevere in your search for God." To succeed, you must have tremendous perseverance, tremendous will. "I will drink the ocean," says the persevering soul. "At my will, mountains will crumble up." Have that sort of energy, that sort of will, hard work, and you will reach the goal. Next quote is, trust completely in God. That is, stand up for God. Let the world go. And next quote is, love of God is essential. Giving up all other thoughts, with the whole mind, day and night, worship God. Thus, being worshipped day and night, he reveals himself and makes his worshippers feel his presence. What a divine touch these quotes carry. Truly remarkable. Thank you so much, sir. Now, we are going to discuss the entire tenure of Vivekananda in America. The message of Swami Vivekananda was the message of Vedanta, a spiritual teaching that again and again saved India during the periods of decline and crisis. The keynote of this message is, truth is one. Sages call it by various names. Its four cardinal points are non-duality of the Godhead, divinity of the soul, oneness of existence, and harmony of religions. Religion, in the light of Vedanta, is the manifestation of the divinity already in man. The central theme of Vedanta is harmony of religions. This spiritual harmony is to be realized by deepening our spiritual consciousness. Vedanta asks a Christian to be a true Christian, a Hindu, a true Hindu, a Buddhist, a true Buddhist, a Jew, a true Jew, Muslim, a true Muslim. The message was timely and powerful. America had received a rude shock from the Civil War and its aftermath. Science had already shaken the very roots of the religious beliefs and dogmas, and the ideas of Darwin were actually challenging conventional American thought and religion. Americans were looking for a philosophy that could harmonize science with humanism and mystical experience, and Swami Vivekananda's words gave them hope for the fulfillment of their spiritual aspirations. The message was powerful, not because of its dialectical superiority or philosophical subtlety, but because of the personality of Swami Vivekananda. The message was an ancient one, but it bore a fire of conviction that was new. One familiar with the life of Swami Vivekananda will recall that his master Sri Ramakrishna saw in him the power and potentiality of a great world teacher. Before the master passed away, he prophesied, Narendra, Swami Vivekananda, will teach others. Very soon, he will shake the world by his intellectual and spiritual powers. Now, after the strong, powerful write-up, let's go through the address with which he awakened the souls in the Parliament of America. So, in response to welcome in Chicago on September 11, 1893, let's see how he addressed the people there. Sisters and brothers of America, it fills my heart with joy unspeakable to rise in response to the warm and cordial welcome which you have given us. I thank you in the name of the most ancient order of monks in the world. I thank you in the name of the mother of religions. And I thank you in the name of millions and millions of Hindu people of all classes and sects. My thanks also to some of the speakers on this platform who, referring to the delegates from the Orient, have told you that these men from far-off nations may well claim the honor of bearing to different lands the idea of toleration. I am proud to belong to a religion which has taught the world both tolerance and universal acceptance. We believe not only in universal toleration, but we accept all religions as true. I am proud to belong to a nation which has sheltered the persecuted and the refugees of all nations and all nations of the earth. I am proud to tell you that we have gathered in our bosom the purest remnant of the Israelites who came to the southern India and took refuge with us in the very year in which their holy temple was shattered to pieces by the Roman tyranny. I am proud to belong to the religion which has sheltered and is being still in the procedure of fostering the remnant of the grand Zoroastrian nation. I will quote to you, brethren, a few lines from a hymn which I remember to have repeated from my earliest boyhood, which is every day repeated by millions of human beings. As the different streams having their sources in different places all mingle their water in the sea, O Lord, the different paths which men take through different tendencies, various though they may appear, crooked or straight, all lead to thee. The present convention, which is one of the most august assemblies ever held, is in itself a vindication, a declaration to the world of the wonderful doctrine preached in the Gita. Whosoever comes to me, through whatsoever form, I reach him. All men are struggling through paths which in the end lead to me. Sectarianism, bigotry, and its horrible descendant, that is the basic fanaticism, have long possessed this beautiful earth. They have filled the earth with violence, drenched it often and often with human blood, destroyed civilization and sent the nations to despair. Had it not been for these horrible demons, human society would be far advanced than it is now. But their time is come, and I fervently hope that the bell that tolled this morning in honor of this convention may be the death knell of all fanaticism, of all persecutions with the sword or with the pen, and all uncharitable feelings between persons wending their way to the same goal. And dear friends, all the people in the Parliament of America applauded this great man for the wonderful address, for the wonderful welcome address. Now let's see how he addressed at the final session in Chicago itself on September 27, 1893. So here it goes. The world's parliament of religions has become an accomplished fact, and the merciful Father has helped those who labored to bring it into existence and crowned with success their most unselfish labor. My thanks to those noble souls whose large hearts and love of truth first dreamed this wonderful dream and then realized it. My thanks to the shower of liberal sentiments that has overflowed this platform. My thanks to this enlightened audience for their uniform kindness to me and for their appreciation of every thought that tends to smooth the friction of religions. A few jarring notes were heard from time to time in this harmony. My special thanks to them, for they have, by their striking contrast, made general harmony the sweeter. Much has been said of the common ground of religious unity. I'm not going just now to venture my own theory, but if anyone here hopes that this unity will come by the triumph of any one of the religions and the destruction of the others, to him I say, brother, yours is an impossible hope. Do I wish that a Christian would become Hindu? God forbid. Do I wish that a Hindu or Buddhist would become Christian? God forbid. The seed is put in the ground, and earth and air and water are placed around it. Does this seed become the earth or the air or the water? No, it becomes a plant. It develops after the law of its own growth, assimilates the air, the earth and the water, converts them into plant substance and grows into a plant. Similar is the case with religion. The Christian is not to become a Hindu or a Buddhist, nor a Hindu or a Buddhist to become a Christian, but each must assimilate the basic spirit of the others and yet persevere his individuality and grow according to his own law of growth. If the Parliament of Religions has shown anything to the world, it is this. It has proved to the world that holiness, purity, and charity are not the exclusive possessions of any church in the world, and that every system has produced men and women of the most exalted character. In the face of this evidence, if anybody dreams of the exclusive survival of his own religion and the destruction of the others, I pity him from the bottom of my heart and point out to him that upon the banner of every religion will soon be written, in spite of the resistance, help and not fight, assimilation and not destruction, harmony and peace and not dissension. This is really so empowering, so powerful, with such an assertive thought, with great conviction. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. We are indebted to you for the generations to come. Thank you so much, sir. So, dear friends, though the quotes provided by him to the entire humanity are innumerable, and they teach us the basic teaching of life in a very, very beautiful manner, we had tried to extract a drop from the ocean. Thank you infinitely. So, this session has been dedicated to discuss the beautiful biography of Swami Vivekananda, and we have also read out the address, how he addressed the people in the Parliament of America in Chicago. Truly empowering, truly empowering. I hope you all also must have been got full with great zeal, with great enthusiasm which would have been which would obviously be providing you with a great sense of very high self-esteem and self-fulfillment, because it has done a very powerful impact on me. Thank you so much for attending this session. Thank you so much. Namaskar. Jai Hind.